And let me get the YouTube channel link so you can see the stream too. Where are you? Where's Discord? Here it is. So here's a link to the stream. Yeah, it's like every day, not every day, every week I think of something while I talk to people, things come up. Let me just make sure the audio is good. Okay. Yeah, the audio is good. All right. So, do you have a favorite topic that you think we can disagree on? Yeah, that's the. Mm-hmm. 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 All right. So we don't have a disagreement there, but I think we should not have any environment. I don't think we should have trees. I think trees by allowing trees to grow, we're just asking for trouble. There's no reason. Yeah, there's no reason to have trees. Like the most expensive real estate on the planet is New York State and in New York City. And New York City has no trees. Yeah, people don't need trees. People need places to live. People appreciate skies. No, we don't. We get our oxygen from the oceans, as far as I know, from the green algae and stuff, not from trees. That, it, it's fine. I live in New York City. We don't need trees. There's no advantage to this universe with having trees. Trees are a latecomer to evolution. Trees are less than half a billion years old. So, no, I'm not saying, I'm not saying in reference to what matters. I'm saying there's like, we don't need it. It's a latecomer. Trees are, no, no, no. I'm saying we don't need trees. The planet doesn't need trees. Trees are something new that just came along lately. It's not like, it's, no, no, no. I'm saying you are worried that it's a network and we're going to take out trees and a lot of stuff is founded on trees. And I'm saying no. Trees are a latecomer. Trees are a relatively new invention of evolution. So there's not much that depends on trees. And the evidence is that in New York City, in many cities all over the world, there's no trees, there's no grass, there's no green, and everything's doing very. Not trees, everything green, everything natural. We don't need it. Like I live in the city. We don't need anything. We just need people, skyscrapers, highways. Yeah, you can grow food. You don't need trees to grow. Yeah, and I'm not saying destroy. No. Yeah, sure. I mean, if people want to eat lettuce, they can grow lettuce. That's fine. I personally don't eat. Yeah, I personally don't eat lettuce, but fine. If you want to eat it, then farmers will grow it. But I don't want to just have trees for the sake of trees. Like people, they think that we need far. Hmm. We don't have a disagreement. I'm saying if it's useful, then fine, then plant it. If it's like on private property, then you can plant it. I'm just against growing, forests for the sake of forests. I'm against green for the sake of green. I'm against like public parks, public trees, public forests. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, we don't need it. It's a waste of space. Yes, it does. Has to be built like into skyscrapers because that's what people appreciate. I mean, people don't live in parks. People live in skyscrapers. That's what we need. That's a benefit to humanity. Excuse me? People prefer. I don't need a community. I don't think whoever wants a community and stuff, they can live wherever they want. I'm just saying I mean, I personally like skyscrapers. That's what I'm saying. If you don't like skyscrapers, if you want to, what? What do you mean? No, fine, fine, fine. That's fine. That's fine. I'm not. That's fine, fine. I'm not against. I'm not saying that. I didn't. Let me rephrase. I didn't mean to say that everyone likes skyscrapers. I personally like skyscrapers. Most people I know love skyscrapers. Most people I know want to live on top of a skyscraper with great view, oceanside view, view to every direction. That's what most people I know, that's their preference. If you like living ground level stuff, that's fine too. I don't mind. I'll I'll be quiet. Okay. Okay. Excuse me? What am I figuring? What do you mean, what am I figuring? Saying we don't need forests. I don't need forests. If you want a forest, you can grow a forest on your private property. I don't need it. I don't want to pay for it. And if you have it on your private property, it's going to burn down people's houses. You're going to pay for it. Uh, don't hold me responsible. I'm against it. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I understand. I'm just against it. I'm telling you my preference. I'm against trees. I'm against green. I'm against parks. I'm against environment. I hate the environment. I don't live in the environment. I like living in a building, a skyscraper or a house. I never go. Yeah, yeah, I'm against natural. I mean, I'm against the environmentalism. I'm against the environmentalist movement. Of course, I used to be an environmentalist. I suddenly realized one day that I'm actually against it. I realized that I love skyscrapers, I love buildings, I love construction, I love bridges, highways, and I view the environment as nothing but poop. No one lives. I hate the environment. I hate it. I hate it because look, people that can prefer to live with the New York City skyline as their view. That's the most expensive skyline you can pay for. That means people prefer, looking at skyscrapers rather than mountains and trees. So I prefer everything. I don't care. I don't know. Whatever. Okay. I mean, it shows it's a demonstration of preference. When something is expensive, that means everyone wants it. That's why the price is right. The price rises, right? The price is a reflection of supply and demand. So if the demand is high and supply doesn't meet it, that means it's people still want more of it. That's why they're willing to pay more for it. So, but that's in economics, good just means something that people are willing to pay for. That's the definition of a good. Again, I mean, if you're not willing to pay for something, then for you it's not a good. If I'm willing to pay for something, for me it is a good. So we have, each our preference. I prefer skyscrapers, the New York City skyline. You prefer trees. That's fine. So you can grow your forest. I want to live in a city. You want to live in the farm. That's fine. We're doing one on one unless there's other rules here. I prefer one on one. What? Yes, the environment. Yeah. hmm I mean, Uh, when look, if I when I see a forest, I see the potential to have skyscrapers, and the fact that there's not skyscrapers and highways and bridges, it's a preference, of course. I mean, it's what do I prefer? I like every forest to be turned into a city. That's my preference. So as long as wait a minute, let me just make sure that I'm. Oh, I'm so dumb. I never shared. When not streaming, I never shared the screen. That is terrible. We had such a good discussion. We didn't even record it. Just horrible. Okay, we can continue. So, look, so you were saying, for example, that the we're not gonna tear down the Amazon rainforest and turn them into a city. So,
Yeah.
as far as I know, the Amazon rainforests are man-made. Do you realize?
No,
Yeah, 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 they are. It doesn't matter. Either way, why wouldn't you? I mean, why not tear it down and build skyscrapers?
like, do you understand the terrain there?
We'll deal with it. You have civil engineers, they'll figure it
No,
out.
no, that's not something you deal with.
What do you mean?
You are not going to just deal with
What's the problem? Tell me the
with
problem.
with.
Explain the problem. What's
You
the
know
problem? Mhm.
how dense it is, how marshy it is, how many rivers are there. You can't just like dam up the entirety of the various Amazon rivers, right?
Why not? Explain to me the problem. I don't see a problem.
What do you mean explain to you the problem? It's the largest river on earth.
Shut it down.
That's not something
Next.
that can be dammed.
Yeah, yeah, we'll figure it out. Look, that's not the point. The point is, yeah, yeah, see, some people are environmentalists and they're going to try and stop turning the Amazon forest into skyscrapers. And some people are like engineers and they want to turn the Amazon rainforest into skyscrapers. It's just a war between two clans. And I guess you don't want to turn the Amazons into skyscrapers. I want to turn every tree into a skyscraper. Every place where there is a tree or forest, I want to turn it into a skyscraper.
So where do you get the materials for that? Where do you get the people to build that? Where do you get where do you
So
get the energy to power that? Where do you get
why
the water to,
I don't
you know,
understand I don't understand your question. I mean, where do you
you
get
just want to build
where do you get
skyscrapers for the sake of building skyscrapers?
no, I want to build skyscrapers so that people can enjoy life, so we can have more and more humans. So, I mean, ultimately, I think we should go into space and conquer the rest of the planets and the galaxy and the universe. But yeah, we have to first conquer the planet. We don't have to, but might as well. Look, this planet is on borrowed time. This whole universe is on borrowed time. It's like the environmentalists, they think they're going to conserve. Not going to conserve. The universe is going to self-destruct, sometime in
Yeah,
the
in like
future.
20 billion years. Like,
Whatever. It's not going to stay here
what do you
forever.
mean,
So
whatever?
it's whatever. So might as well enjoy life. We're only here, once we
Yeah,
have a chance to
we're
enjoy.
only here 20 billion years. Like, do you think anything will be as it is in a
But for
billion years?
yeah,
No.
but you guys are
People
for,
aren't
yeah, but
claiming
you
that
guys
we need to keep
yeah, but you
everything
guys
exactly the same for the
yeah,
entirety of the rest of history. Nobody is saying that. What people
yeah,
are saying is
yeah,
you
they are.
got rain that's acidic, you got rivers that don't support life, you got lakes that are filled with chemicals, you got the ocean that has a massive pile of plastic that's the size of France, right? Do you not understand the facts that we have microplastics in our bloodstreams that are killing us, right?
Wait, how
Like,
do
you
you
understand how
what do you
problematic
mean?
the problems are
Wait,
building up, right?
no, nothing you said makes any sense. Like, but say one thing
What
at a
do you
time. Like
mean?
you're going through. Hold on. You're going through a lot of topics. So just bring up one point. We'll deal with it. What's the question?
What do you mean? What's the question? I'm
Repeat the
laying it
list one by
fully
one.
out there
Yeah, yeah.
that
Go
you're not
one by
making
one.
any sense. Like, you wanna build skyscraper, you cannot achieve what you're saying you want to achieve, man. It's not happening.
Why not? What's the problem?
Let me give you an example. It's a bit of a personal one. Have you ever been to the Alamo?
No, no, I haven't not yet.
Back in, I think it was the 1870s or 1880s or something. You want to know what they wanted to do with it?
No. Do I want to know?
They
Sure.
wanted to tear down the entirety of the Alamo Heritage Site to build a hotel there,
That's a good
right?
idea. Yeah,
How lame would that be? Do
I'm
you
for.
understand how many millions of tourists come into Texas to see the Alamo and by association boost local businesses,
Yeah, I don't
boost the
care.
population,
Yeah, I don't care.
boost the
Yeah, tear it down.
culture?
Yeah,
right?
tear it down, build a skyscraper. Next question.
That there's not any more Alamos out there.
Fine, we don't need them. Put, write
Yes, we
about it.
do.
No, we don't. What are you gonna do with it? Who needs it? No one needs it.
It's a tourist attraction. You don't like I said, you don't
Make
need
a
to pave
virtual one.
over
Make a
every
virtual.
single square centimeter.
Make a virtual tourist attraction. Next topic. What else do you want to know?
I don't want to see a virtual tourist
Then
attraction because
don't
it
go
ain't
to
gonna
the.
exist.
What's the difference? There's no difference. And who needs it? You
One
read
is
about it.
real,
I've
one
never been
isn't.
there. I couldn't care less about it. Next topic.
I could,
So fine.
okay.
So pay
Millions
for
of
it.
other
Here, I
people
have an idea
disagree
for
with
you.
you,
Then
buddy.
buy it and preserve it. Next topic.
Okay, that's what's
Leave me
been
out of it.
done.
Fine, leave me out of it. I don't want to pay for it. Next topic.
Nobody's living out of the
I'm
Alamo.
not saying living. You want to
That's
preserve it.
you
You
literally
buy
just
it.
said that.
You want to preserve it. Buy it.
Yeah,
Preserve it. Don't make me pay
that's
for it.
what's being done, and you want to say tear it down?
No,
What do you
I'm
mean?
fine. If
One
you
minute you say
pay,
tear it down, one
I.
minute you say preserve it. What do you mean?
If it's up to me, tear it down, build a skyscraper. If it's up to me, it's up to you. You buy it. You do whatever you want with it. I'm not gonna tell you what to do with your property.
Then what's the point of this then?
Of what?
What?
What's the point of what?
Like, okay, like you can do whatever you want with your land. Like you're
Yeah.
still gonna have to follow federal and state regulations.
I'm
But
against
like
rules that tell you like if I
you
buy
ain't
the
buying anything anytime soon, buddy.
okay, I'm against laws that for like if I buy the Alamo, I'm against a law that tells me that I cannot tear it down. I want to be able to buy the Alamo and tear it down.
You ain't gonna do that.
Fine. All right. What do you mean I'm not? By what do you mean by that?
Well, for one, nobody's gonna sell it to you, and for two, nobody's gonna let you tear it down.
Okay, all right. So I told you my position. I am against these laws. What's the next thing you want to say? What's the next topic? You're not contradicting what I'm saying. You're repeating what I'm saying.
What are you saying in the first place? You're
I'm
just saying,
against.
in
I'm
my
against.
opinion, I'd like more skyscraper.
Yes,
What?
exactly. I think skyscrapers and highways and bridges and constructions, those are things we should be involved in doing, not preserving pieces of turd like the Alamo or stuff like that, or rainforests. We don't need those. You want
Okay.
them, you build
All
them,
right.
you pay for them, that's fine. I
All
don't
right.
care.
Yeah. You're right. We don't need any culture. We don't need
Look,
any means
you
of
need
making
it.
oxygen. Yeah. We don't
Listen,
need any of that.
I don't. I'm speaking for myself. I don't.
You
I
don't
like
need oxygen.
I do need oxygen. I didn't say I don't need oxygen. I didn't say that. Why are you putting words in my
So
mouth?
why are you saying that we don't need like any greenery?
No, we have
Like you
the
do
ocean.
realize once you pave over the entirety of the earth, there ain't gonna be any life, right?
No, most of the earth is the ocean. The ocean has plenty of green. There's plenty of green algae that produces enough oxygen, as far as I know. If we start running
You're
out of
gonna kill
oxygen,
that. You're
no,
gonna kill that
no. Why would I? How? Why? No.
because you're polluting the earth
How am I polluting the earth? How am I doing that?
by destroying the entirety of the environment.
No, I'm not touching the oceans. The oceans can stay for now,
So, so,
temporarily.
so you think that you can destroy the entirety of all life on land, and then the ocean will be completely fine.
Exactly. Actually, that was the state of the planet. I think like half a billion years ago when there was no life on the surface. There was only life in the ocean. Life didn't come to the surface yet. Everything
And
was
during
fine.
that time, ocean life was not in any way, shape, or form dependent on the life of the land because there was no life at land. But
Yeah,
now that there is life on land, a lot of the species that we have in the ocean, whether they be plants, whether they be animals, whether they be whatever, right? All of them, it is all connected. Like, do you not understand that?
yeah, but there's something called evolution, and once things start to change, evolution will take care of it. Everybody will survive. Everything will be fine. And if
You
not,
ain't gonna, something isn't gonna evolve if you kill it.
what do you mean? I didn't. You said you said there's like life.
Evolution
Wait,
takes millions of years.
hold on,
What
hold
you're
on.
like, this is gonna be done
No,
in what years? Is that what you're saying?
no, evolution doesn't take millions of years. If there's enough pressure, evolution can take place like very quickly.
That's not how that works. If there's enough pressure, you're gonna kill it off. Did the dodo bird? evolve? Did the
I don't need the
Yellow
dodo
River
bird. Look,
dolphin evolve?
I don't need most life on this planet. There's too much life. All we need is the algae and a couple of
Too
fish.
much light.
I don't even eat
That's new.
fish. Look,
Okay,
there's enough
you just
green
said
in
you
the
weren't going to
ocean.
touch ocean life, buddy.
Wait, what?
You just said you weren't going to touch ocean life, and now you're fine with the entirety of every
I'm
single
not.
fish dying.
Look, for now, we're not taking over the oceans. For now,
For
I'm just.
now?
Yeah, for now.
For
Look,
now?
for example, yeah, this planet is on borrowed time. Any
Uh, th-
minute, any second, right now, an asteroid can hit this planet and demolish it. A black hole could swallow this planet. A neutron star can
That's
destroy
not
this planet.
how that works.
Wait, what?
If that's the case, then what's the point of making skyscrapers?
I'm saying we should get off this planet as soon as possible, but we should preserving this planet and thinking like we're gonna live like in the 18th century forever. That's not gonna work out. We gotta get off this
Yeah,
planet.
it ain't.
This
Because
planet.
in the 18th century, they did nothing but pollute.
Anyway, what? Wait, repeat this.
Can I add something?
Yeah, sure.
I really feel like if you chop down a rainforest to make a skyscraper, a bunch of skyscrapers, that would negatively affect life around it. Like
Yeah, but
trees
evolution.
That's what
make
I'm
Yeah,
oxygen and we
yeah, but
breathe in that oxygen.
yeah, but
Can you let me
evolution.
finish?
Yeah, but there's evolution, and life will find a way.
Evolution takes a
No, it doesn't.
lot of time.
No, it doesn't.
It does,
No,
based
it
on
doesn't.
science and actual facts.
No,
It
no, no,
takes a
no,
long time.
no. Evolution
So
takes very little time. If there's
can't just be
pressure,
like,
it
oh yeah,
depends on
we'll
the
evolve
pressure.
because
What did
that's
the
not realistic.
No, what
We need
usually
like?
to
happens is
preserve life as it
How
is
long do you
now
think
because
evolution
life
takes?
is getting exponentially worse.
evolution doesn't take any time. I mean, evolution
Any
is.
time?
I mean,
What
It's
are you
like when you say
advocating
stuff
like
like that,
Lysenko type evolution?
no, evolution is very fast. What I mean is evolution is very fast. It could
You're
take
literally. Did
evolution
you
could take.
get your knowledge from Lysenko?
No. I'm Darwinistic. I believe in Darwin. But
Darwin,
yeah,
you
could be wrong.
realize what Darwin observed, right? He didn't in real time see dinosaurs turn into chickens or whatever, right?
Like you know that yeah, you can see
yeah, I
that
think it was birds.
when birds migrate into the city, they become dark. When stuff like that. In one
That's just
generation,
fine.
in one generation, they all the birds become dark, become black when they move into the city.
No, they didn't become black. You killed off all the white
No,
ones.
we didn't touch them. That's what happened. I mean, whatever. Even if that's true, even what you said is true, that's a proof that evolution is fast.
Like what you're referring to is the reason why like moths are the color they way they are. In a
Look,
place like London, right, the air turned exponentially darker because of all the smog, and by
the point.
extension, the rain turned acidic, and you couldn't see 10 feet in front of you. That's how bad it got in some cases. I'm not sure if you know that, but aside from that, when it comes to the moths, for example, what didn't happen is the white moths magically turned into black ones. What happened is you had a variety of moths, you killed all the light ones, and all that's left is the dark ones.
Look, the point is, what will die will die. I don't care, honestly. I don't need life. If we need like I eat tuna, so I care for the tuna. If we
Okay.
see that the tuna start dying, we'll take care of the tuna.
Okay.
Or
Yeah,
if
we'll
you,
take care of it. Yeah, we'll
or
take care of it.
I
That's all we
also
know. You don't need
I
any environmental regulations. We don't
I
need
also
to care
I
about the
also
environment. That you just
I
gotta
also
grow tuna. That's
I
all.
also eat sardines, so if we see the sardines start dying off, we'll take care of that. But like, we don't need dolphins. We don't need them. We don't
They're
eat
they're
whales. We don't
already
need.
dying off.
That's
What
good.
are we doing about it?
We should kill the last one. We don't need that pest. If we don't eat it, we don't eat it.
So you're telling me like right. So like you do realize salmon populations, tuna populations, sardine populations, the entirety of especially natural fish, the entirety of fish worldwide is going down due to pollution and overfishing. How are you going to deal with that?
As far as I know, that's not true. Because if that were true, then the price of sardines and tuna would rise. But it's
Yeah,
very
it
low.
has.
if it gets higher, but according to economics, if the price rises, then it's going to make an incentive for people, for ocean farmers to start growing tuna and sardines. So that's going to bring the
Can't
price
just
down.
grow a sardine.
Whatever, then we'll figure out a replacement. I'll stop
Then we'll
eating
figure
tuna.
out a
Then we'll
replacement. So we're
fine.
not going
We'll
to have
eat.
any sardines. We're going
We're
to
not gonna.
have
Then we're not gonna eat.
sardoon. Like
Then
what?
then I'm gonna skip breakfast. I'll go straight into lunch and eat my cheeseburgers instead of fish. We don't have to have fish. Plenty of people don't have fish. I eat fish, but I don't have to eat fish. I'll survive without fish.
I mean, a
If
lot
that
of people can't, man.
fine, well, then I don't know what to tell you. But
You
wait,
don't know what to tell me.
wait,
Okay.
a lot of people what cannot eat cheeseburgers?
I
Why
mean,
not?
yeah.
Why can't they eat cheeseburgers? What's stopping them?
Are you aware of a little thing called Lyme disease?
Yeah, I think like there's
Yeah.
people that
Well,
say it doesn't
Lyme disease
exist.
prevents people from eating red meat.
All right, I don't know what to tell
Mhm.
you. I mean, look, you're talking about all these problems, but
Yeah.
that well, if we see the problems rising, the free market will take care of it.
Yeah, they are rising.
So the free market will take care of it. Just let people figure it out. People will figure it out. But you're trying to preserve. Look, the point is, I don't care
The
about.
way you figure it
Hold on.
out is by preserving it. If we
No,
don't
no, no,
preserve it, there ain't gonna be
no,
any of it.
no, no,
Like
no.
you're not understanding right now.
No. Like the whales, we almost killed off the whales. I think it would have been a good idea to kill off the whales. I don't see the purpose of the whales. But you agree that we don't need the whales, right?
No,
What do we need the whales for? What are you gonna do with a whale? What's
like
the
like like
purpose?
like do you understand? Like I'll tell you, because of what whales eat, of what whales do, the effects of whales on other marine life and
But we
other
almost
plant life. Like I told you earlier, when you
killed,
take out the entirety of a species from an environment, the environment itself changes.
killed off
Not every It's not just going to stay the same. It's not a Jenga tower, man.
killed off the last whale, and the environment didn't care one bit. The planet was fine. So you agree that we can get rid of the whales, right? You have to agree with that.
No,
What's the problem with
you
getting rid
can
of the
agree with
whales?
that.
Why do you need whales? What's the benefit of having whales?
What's the benefit of killing them off?
Um, no, we're
Can
having.
I ask something else?
No. Hold on. No. Now you're changing the debate. So
I'm
you're
not
saying
changing anything.
yes, you are because
You're,
you're
you're
saying
advocating for killing all the whales. Okay, why should we kill all the whales?
no.
Because you
That's
said that
not.
first.
No. Yeah, you're saying that any change is going to bring down the whole system. The whole system is like tied to each
Yeah,
other. And I'm
that's how
saying
that works.
no. So exactly. So I'm saying we almost killed off the whales, and the planet didn't give a damn. So apparently it's
No, it did.
So what was the okay? So what? What? So explain to me so what's your evidence? I mean, we almost killed off the whales, and the planet went on living just fine. So why would you say that we need? You're saying that the environment needs the whales. If we take the whales, the whole pyramid is going to crumble.
Yeah.
But we almost got rid of the whales, and nothing happened. How can you say that?
Like, okay, so here's something for you. You have producers, you have prey, and then you have predators, right? When you remove the producers, so plants, right? Then that means that there's nothing for the prey to eat. So the prey starves, and then because there's no prey, the predators starve, and then there's no predators. From there, when you have no prey, then that means that the predators will starve, and then there's producers will just overproduce, and that can potentially leads to the earth that can potentially leads to the earth getting either undersaturated or oversaturated with things like pH levels, with things like minerals, et cetera, et cetera. And when you remove the predators, for example, that means the prey is going to overpopulate and overproduce. Then they'll eat out all of the producers, and then the prey will starve out.
Okay, that's a nice
That's
theory.
the pyramid. That's the
I'm going to
pyramid.
ask
You
you
take away a single one of those, it collapses.
right. So
A single one.
But we already just we almost got rid of the whales, and the planet seemed to have gotten by just
Fiend.
fine. What?
See, the reason why it did get by so fine is because we didn't eliminate the whales. If we did eliminate them, it would be a different story.
Okay. So, explain to me what's going to be the problem the day after we kill off the last whale? Where's the problem?
It's not going to be immediate.
What
It's
is the
going to
problem?
be a long,
What
varied process
what's the
of
problem?
ecosystems adapting and collapsing, and it is not
Why would
going
they
to be a
collapse?
positive thing.
Why would they collapse? I mean, the whales
Because
appear
you're
right
taking out
now.
an entire population, an entire species.
So
You
what?
understand how significant that is?
No, who needs it? Who?
When
Tell
the
me.
like going back to the Dust Bowl, you know what a weevil is, or you know what a locust is.
So hold on. Let's discuss the whales. The whales are a good example to a species that we
Yeah,
can dispose of and not skip a heartbeat.
no,
So okay, fine. So what's the problem of getting rid of the whales?
I
Where's the
told
problem?
you have entire ecosystems collapse.
So explain to me which species depends on the whales? Who feeds on the whales?
Every single one.
Which one?
Like
Give me an example.
okay, are you talking about blue whales? Are you talking about orca whales? Are you talking about
Start.
cannon whales? Are you
Let's
talking
start.
about what are you talking about?
Let's start with that species of the whales that was almost extinct. I don't care which one. Choose
Which
one.
one?
I don't know. I think the biggest
You don't know.
ones, the ones with
Name
the
one.
brush. I think the ones with the brush mouth, with the brush teeth. I think those the biggest ones. The blue whale. I don't know. I don't
The
care.
blue whale.
I don't know. I honestly don't care. I think the
So
ones that
the
came.
world's biggest mammal. There's no problems with taking the world's largest mammal out of the environment. There's no problems
I'm
there. There's
saying
not going to be
we.
any repercussions.
It
There's not going to be
almost.
any ripple effect. There's not going to be any changes whatsoever.
That is the fact. I mean, we almost got rid of it, right? It almost went
We
extinct.
almost got rid of it.
Yeah,
We didn't get rid of it.
but we
And
almost.
so
And
what you're
as
describing, you can't even know because we didn't experience the effects that you're describing.
but
We
then
did not
but
experience
we
a
didn't
complete environmental collapse due
exactly.
to the fact that we prevented it.
But we didn't notice any effect on the environment as they were going extinct.
Yes, we did.
What was the effect?
All right, let me look this up because like I remember there was a whole lot of stuff on from between the stuff that the or, hold on blue. Let me look at this up. What would happen if blue whales didn't exist? Went extinct. There you go. Krill will deplete the populations of phytoplankton and algae on which they feed, causing an imbalance in the marine ecosystem. That's what they are called, krill. Blue whales eat krill, right?
Okay, but
And I
the,
described to you with the pyramid, right?
wait,
Predators, prey,
I
producers.
understand, I
You
understand,
get rid of you get rid of the predators,
I
the
understand.
prey overeats the
Yeah,
producers,
yeah, I
and then
understand.
both go extinct
Yeah, yeah, I
or
understand.
collapse.
Yeah, yeah, I understand. But the question is, we almost got rid of this species, right? It almost went completely extinct, right? It
You're
went on
repeating
the
yourself.
list. Yeah, it. But there was no no discernible effect on the planet.
Yes, there
Right?
was.
What? You can you show me a graph of some problem with
I'm not
with
going to show
the?
you a graph
So how do you
because
know?
that's going to
So
take
what's
too
your
long.
evidence? So
What
what's
we
your
are doing,
evidence?
like, I mean, how about you show me a graph that there wasn't any difference in whatever when blue whales almost went extinct?
Okay, fine. So let's leave it at that. So neither of us have evidence. As far as I know, the whales could have gone extinct, and we could
The
have,
evidence is right there. Blue whales feed on krill. Krill feed on
I don't.
phytoplanktons,
That's not evidence.
algae,
That's
etc.
not evidence. I need to
That's a
see. No, no. I need to see an effect on the environment. I grew up in a time
that is an
when
effect on the environment.
no, no, no. I grew up in a time when the whales were going extinct. No one talked about this having any effect on the environment except for the whales going extinct. So, as far as I know, they could have gone completely extinct. No one would have skipped a heartbeat. There were actually mammals that went extinct. I mean, we drove to extinction the woolly mammoth. There was this wolf, pocket wolf, that we drove it. There were a bunch of animals that went into extinction not too
So
long ago.
fire
Even
hunting is. I think that's the
even
term.
I think
You know what fire
I think
hunting is, right?
no, but even as we speak right now, Greta Thunberg said that every day a few species are going extinct of frogs of this type of that type. No one cares. It doesn't have any influence on the environment, and if it does, the environment figures it out. And because of evolution, everybody adapts and everybody continues on their merry way. So I don't see an issue. We don't need the environment. We can dispose of it. Let's move to the next topic.
All right, like you're just not gonna listen to literally anything I have to say. I'm done.
I mean, I don't know why you said that. I mean, we've been having a conversation for a long time. I listened, I
No, you
responded.
you have not you've not taken into account literally anything I've said. You just want to be right and not listen to me at all. So I'm done.
Okay, that's an ad hominem. You're referencing me, so I'm just gonna ignore that.
Yep. Bye.
Okay, thank you. Does anybody? Oh, he ran away. So, Ma, do you want to talk? Hmm. Get upset because the whales don't serve a purpose to anyone else. No one needs the whales. Everybody cries. Oh, the whales! We need the whales. Why do we need the whales? I don't know. We need whales.
They're fun. We
Wait,
should keep
what?
them around. They're fun.
I think they're a pest. I think most life on Earth is a pest. Most life are pests. Dolphins are a pest. Sharks are a pest. Unless we eat them. I mean, if we eat them, then they're not a pest. I mean, if people want to grow whales in order to eat them, that's fine. But just having whales around so that if I take a swim, they can eat me, I don't like that.
So what is this? Just basically a competition argument? So since we're the peak, everything else is just a pest underneath us?
No, I mean, and yes, I mean, I don't need whales. If you like whales, you want to grow whales in your backyard, be my guest. I don't care. I don't need whales. I don't like whales. I don't like life in general. I like humans and and animals that we farm and dogs and cats, animals that we can live with. But wild animals, I don't like wild animals. I don't like anything wild. I want to be in control of my environment. So whales are no go, no show, no. I'm not green lighting whales.
We were the only species on the planet. Do you think that might affect the human condition itself if we're isolated?
What? Repeat.
Do you think we're the only species on the planet, would that affect our psychology, the very human condition?
Wait, what? The only species on the planet that will affect the human condition, our psychology?
No, if we were the only, how do you think that would affect psychology of how would humans be changed or altered by being isolated and without any other life sharing the planet anymore? I mean,
I think most
what would
most humans I think most humans live at home these days and don't see any wildlife and they're pretty good with it. I mean, I live in the city. I don't see wildlife. I could care less for wildlife. I don't see any life except for humans. I see puppies and sometimes cats, mostly puppies. Like my neighbors have puppies, and that's fine, except for they poop and pee on the sidewalk. I don't like that. But it's fine to have puppies running around, but nothing else. Like
I
I
guess it would
like, like if you
be
go
us
like if
and
like if you
dogs.
go like if you go like sometimes you go to upstate New York and a bear can eat you. Like even like close to the city, there's bears and mountain lions. It's really dangerous. I don't like that. I could certainly, live my life happily without having to face a 10-foot tall bear, mama bear trying to protect its puppies and or eat me. Thank you. I don't need that.
Yeah, but it doesn't seem you would be likely to go where they are anyway. So it's kind of a moot point.
But do you?
You don't have to
Look.
go.
I want to look.
You don't
I
have
want
to be
look.
rude. You don't have to go on
I,
wilderness because you don't believe it exists, should
no.
exist.
I look. I want to be able to walk on this planet freely everywhere without being eaten, without becoming somebody else's lunch. So if the price is that all animals, all wildlife needs to go, then all wildlife needs to go. I don't need wildlife if the price is me becoming their lunch.
Okay. I, I guess, but nothing's compelling that you have to do that. You could just stay in the city. Don't go to the zoo.
Yeah, I mean the zoo is fine. Some people want to go to the zoo, that's fine. But like I want to be able to go upstate New York and not be worried about being eaten by a bear or a mountain
Well,
lion.
what's in upstate New York that you want to look at unmolested by wild animals?
Upstate New York is anywhere outside of New York City. What do you mean? It's like there's people
Okay,
living
but
in it's not like it's not wilderness. Upstate New York is not wilderness. Upstate New York is where a lot of people live, but still there's bears and mountain lions. So I don't know mountain lions. I know bears, maybe mountain lions too. I don't care, but there's bears
so
everywhere.
are you? Do you wish that what like the municipal government just does more to keep the critters out?
We need to dispose of the bears, period. We don't need bears on the planet. Bears are a very dangerous pest. If somebody wants to grow a bear in their backyard, that's fine. But we shouldn't like as far as I know, we have probably laws protecting bears, and stuff. We shouldn't have that. We should not have bears. People should just go out and kill the bears just like we kill mosquitoes. We don't need laws protecting mosquitoes. We don't need laws protecting bears. Doesn't make any sense.
I don't know. For whatever reason, I value like animal attack videos more than I do most people. So I'm okay with the bears attacking people.
Okay, I'm not, so fine. I'm not gonna change your mind against about that. I mean, if you like seeing, I mean, you just have to take into consideration you could be next. When I see
Yeah.
people being mauled by, so fine. So you don't appreciate your own life, I guess. I appreciate my life. I don't want to go
No, I
and
just have a
bears.
real understanding of what life is. It entails whether we're hiding in urban centers or going up to the wilderness, we're always at the risk of losing our life to something. So you can mitigate that by getting rid of all the wild animals, I guess, but you're still going to have to contend with the apex species predator wild animal, which is us. I mean, there's always going to be, and even outside of that, just a freak fluke accident, you fall down the stairs. I mean, everything has some sort of a inherent risk. So
Right, so I'm
I
gonna
mean,
try, yeah, I'm gonna try and mitigate every which way, which is gonna make me go. I want to live. I don't want
and
to die.
you already have the personal means to mitigate them, unless you're calling for you just want extra freedom to like hunt bears or maybe
I don't care
rally other people to help you in this endeavor. I guess.
I personally don't care for hunting. I do like watching wildlife being hunted because I don't like wildlife. And I guess if I had the chance, I would shoot it myself, but it just seems like a lot of work. But yeah, I don't like wildlife. I just care for humans, not for wildlife. Wildlife, you can be nice to wildlife, but wildlife is not going to be nice to you. But whereas you can be nice to a person, the person will repay you. So with people, I can have a good life with people. I can't have a good life with a wild bear. Now, if you want to have a wild bear, if you want to grow a wild bear, you can. I'm not going to stop you. But don't force me to protect, to live life, taking a chance that I'm going to become a bear's lunch. I don't want to be a bear's lunch.
Don't don't enforce nature upon you is basically what you're saying. Like
Yeah, don't force
keep
nature
these
on me. You can,
keep these competitive animals away from me.
yeah,
Is it? Are you calling on others to do that for you, or do
no,
you have a plan to get rid of it, all of these?
no, just allow people to just don't have laws protecting wildlife. Wildlife should be disposed of. We don't need it. We need
Okay,
to,
but if we, how do we dispose of wildlife without calling on people and a
no, you
great
don't
amount of resources,
you don't have
great
to
amount of
do
effort?
that. You don't have to do that. Just if you don't have laws protecting bears, people just go and kill the bears. We don't need them. Who wants to have bears around?
Well, if that were the case, people not just backyards, but people would still house bears in all variety of different ways. So
Fine. In your private property, you can do whatever the heck you want. I don't care. But if I go to if I go climb a mountain, I don't want to take a chance that there is a bear waiting for me as its next lunch. That's what I'm saying. if it's in your backyard and your bear eats me, you're gonna pay. There's gonna be a criminal and civil lawsuit against you, so you're gonna prevent that from happening. But when it's wildlife, then no one, the government is not gonna be held liable for a bear attacking me. So I don't want that bear. That bear should be disposed of immediately.
Unless you're going out of your way to like aggress on these like predators directly, like the chance encounters of running into one, bear with bear mace or whatever, it almost seems like you run a higher risk with the human element in an
No,
urban center.
no.
And even if you defend yourself, you might be liable to go to prison for defending yourself. So like there's a stack of more risk just dealing with other humans than there actually is in the wilds of this capacity. I
I
guess it
mean,
would only
if
be
there's
increased if you stayed there. So
I mean, if there's wild humans, we should dispose of them too. But in general, humans you can deal with. If the human is a murderer, I'm like we gotta either put them away or chop their heads off. But either way, you gotta get rid of them. You can't let them just roam around. So it doesn't matter if it's a human turning me into their next lunch or if it's the bear turning me into their next lunch. I'm against both. Both should be disposed of one way or the other. Put them in a safari or in some enclosed environment that they can't harm me. That's it. Anything else you want to talk about?
know, so I guess pods would be good then.
Pods?
Just hang out in pods
Alien
because people
pod?
are just going to get crazier. Like people have demonstrated they're just going to get crazier. So the social contract is fucking toast. So things
Right.
are going
So,
to get more wild.
yeah, but with humans, humans respond to reward and punishment. Animals, not so much. Animals are dumb. Humans are not as dumb.
Is there any current incentive for people to restore the social contract right now?
I'm saying, okay, fine. So, I mean, the laws. We have a bunch of George Soros uh, district attorneys letting loose a lot of criminals. That's not good either. So we need to dispose of the laws protecting wildlife, and we need to dispose of or take down these George Soros district attorneys that are turning the criminals against us. But you're right.
And how do we incentivize people to go after Soros?
No, I mean, I don't know how to deal with Soros. I mean, Soros is a problem. I don't know how to deal with that. I mean, you have a multi-billionaire that's literally, we can't talk about him because then we're gonna get our heads chopped off. That's the situation. So let's not talk about George Soros. It's not allowed.
Well,
Just say
we
let's
can
just
gloss over a bunch of deeper stuff, but we could just use him as like a symbol. Isn't Soros himself sort of a source of incentive? So doesn't he kind of align with the just the natural law in that sense? He's kind of doing what we do.
look. I agree, it's a problem, but just because we have Soros that has district attorneys turning the criminals loose doesn't mean we should also let the bears loose. We can deal with the bears, and if we cannot deal with Soros, we'll just stay away from the criminals somehow. It's not, it's a problem, but let's deal. Right now, we're debating one issue: wildlife. So let's get rid of the wildlife. We'll deal with the George Soros district attorneys later.
There's no incentive to get rid of the one. So,
There's no incentive to what?
yeah, wild animal attacks are pretty marginal compared to the population. I'm not really worried about it.
Look, I don't care so much about the I don't see. Look, as far as I'm concerned, I don't like wildlife, and I don't see the
So
problem
you
with
just have
Look, if there is or there isn't a problem with the George Soros district attorneys, I don't care about that for now. We have two separate issues. Right now, I'm debating, do we need wildlife? I don't need wildlife, so I'm against wildlife. There's no upside to having wildlife. There's only a downside. So that's what I care for.
I just think it's a weird position because like we also don't need to get rid of wildlife. Like there's no incentive to do that.
What do you mean? I don't want to become a bear's lunch. Therefore, I have the incentive to dispose of the bear population.
Wait, where are the
Okay.
propositions?
I'm against
We don't
wildlife.
need wildlife proposition right now.
Wait, what's the proposition?
I'm against
We do
wildlife.
not need wildlife.
We need to dispose
We
of
do
all
not need wildlife.
We need to dispose
What's
of
entailed by need?
I hated
Yeah, that
this.
just
so
sounds
much.
like a base vegan position.
There's
I'm sorry.
laws.
What's entailed by need?
There's laws protecting wildlife. We need to get rid of these laws.
Oh my fucking god! I'm gonna
It's
kill myself.
preferable.
Okay, so are you just like memeing? I mean, I don't know. I guess you could just try this. So are you assuming that like there's not going to be any feedback on like the overall ecosystem? And obviously we get things from the ecosystem, right?
No, let's talk about bears. Like, we can just get rid of all the bears. We don't need them.
No, you can.
They're an amoral,
I mean-
descriptive egoist. So I don't.
I'm
I
not
don't
gonna
know.
lie, that might be true. That actually might just be. Oh my god, my room went up by 1 degree. Yay. That actually might just be true, right? But
Yeah.
that's not all wildlife. Like you could say something. You could make this a weaker claim and say, let's get rid of all predators, right?
No, let's
I
just
don't know. I can see
discuss,
that working maybe.
let's discuss wild bears. Let's get rid of wild bears. That's the proposition. It's
I don't know if I have
preferable.
an objection to that.
Okay, good enough.
I got an objection to that.
Why?
Okay, what's your objection?
I mean, bears are a part of the environment, and like I've said earlier, Mr. Slave, like you need every single part of the environment for the environments to function as
Well, we lost
is.
the dodo birds and we still have a functioning environment, so I don't see how that
That's
follows.
because they were an isolated species in a single island. Bears.
Okay, but that's
are
once you just said all. So now you've just changed.
continental.
Hold on a second. Now you're moving the goalposts, right? Because you just said we need all species, right? That's one less species.
Oh
So
my!
now you're changing the claim.
And all right, fine. With dodo
Wait,
birds,
Kaufman,
did they
Kaufman, you don't even. Wait,
environment
did Mr.
whatever island that was? I forget what it was.
Galapagos.
Yeah, I don't know.
Wait, Coco, did they tell you what they meant by need?
Yeah, I
No,
said
they didn't.
preferable.
Well, then that's just going to be trivial.
Yeah, this is retarded.
Like it's not even a position.
Well, you see
If
that
your understanding of need is just what's if your understanding of need is what's preferable, then that just means like anybody's preferences. Like I could just have a preference for us continuing to have bears. Like that doesn't really mean anything.
no, I'm saying I have a preference
But
to. I'm
there's
saying,
definitely a downside and an upside to getting rid of bears.
what's the
You have to
downside?
look at both of them.
What's the problem with getting rid of
I mean,
bears?
the downside is the sort of predators like what kind of ants. So there's an ecosystem that's currently happening, and when you kill off an entire species, that ecosystem will get disrupted.
No,
And
y'all
the
are assuming way
ecosystem-
too many things. Y'all are assuming way too many things about this person's position, right? Like that's why we said like need, or that's why we're asking about need, because this person is just saying, oh, it depends on the individual's preference. Like, well, that's why it's trivial.
No,
Yeah,
Yeah,
But
that
it's
doesn't
not-
mean anything.
I'm willing to.
Like
it's
that
not
doesn't carry
trivial
any
based
information.
No,
It
I
is
mean,
trivial because if your preference is just the negation of that preference, well then the conversation is over. Like
No,
this is like actually just silly.
I don't
I
hold a
wasted 30
trivial.
minutes.
No, I don't hold a trivial position. I mean, I'm saying it's
Well,
preferable.
if your position is we should get rid of bears because you don't like them,
No.
that seems to be pretty trivial to
No,
me.
it's not because I don't like them. I like bears. I just don't like them roaming around, being able to turn me into their next lunch, nilly-willy. That's what I don't like.
Are you going off into the woods? I'm so confused with this. Just don't go into the woods.
No, I want to be able to go anywhere. I don't want, sometimes I leave work and I'm always afraid of a bear running around because, like, in upstate New York we have bears. And where I work.
Yeah, but bears aren't all wildlife, right? You
No,
said all
let's
This is
discuss
so
bears.
boring. Are you drunk?
Let's start with
All right, I have to
No,
ask. Are you
it's just if you
drunk?
go-
Are you drinking?
let's start with only bears. Let's talk about just bears.
How many drinks have you had tonight, sir?
Who are you talking to?
How many drinks have you had tonight, sir?
You talking to
Coco,
me?
death to the cop.
Who are you asking?
I'm
Yeah, it
asking you.
doesn't
How many
sound
drinks
like
have you had?
anybody in here
Well,
is particularly drunk. I don't know why this is an issue.
Can you
Well,
say
you
the
can-
entire
let- let
alphabet backwards? Can
Oh
you
my
say
God.
the entire alphabet backwards starting with Z?
Can I? No, I'm not an American. I don't know. My English is not so good.
Oh wait, what are you?
Originally, I cannot disclose, but I'm not. I wasn't born here, so My English is not
Oh, okay,
good.
so that's a little bit unfair to you.
Yeah.
Can you say the Russian? Can you say the Russian alphabet starting backwards from the beginning?
I know because I don't want to disclose my country of origin.
So your country of origin is Russia, and you don't want to
Maybe,
disclose that it's Russia.
maybe.
You could have just said I don't know Russian.
I could say anything. It doesn't matter. I don't want to
Yeah,
disclose.
I mean you could say anything, but I'm just saying the answer you gave seemed to have implications. I don't know,
If
whatever.
you think I'm Russian, that's fine.
I don't know.
It doesn't matter. All right.
All right, how about this? How about this? We can give you a different. We can give you a different sobriety test, right? How many fingers am I holding up right now?
2.
I'm sorry. What'd you say?
2.
Okay, so you're definitely drunk because my camera is not on, so I'm not really sure how you would tell me how many fingers I'm
Yeah.
holding up right now.
Oh
So-
my god.
So because I guessed wrong,
I'm killing
I'm drunk. That's your evidence?
No, it's because my camera's not even on. What are you counting?
Yes, I took a
What do you
guess.
mean I have 2 fingers? How the fuck would you know? My camera's not even on.
So only a drunk person is allowed to guess? Guessing is like an indication of being drunk? You asked me a question, I gave you an answer. What?
No,
So,
it's just a bad joke. This is a bad joke.
oh, my humor is very bad too. Besides my English.
Yeah, I'm tracking that.
Yeah. Okay. So does anybody want to discuss some other topic? Because I have many topics.
All right, I'm actually
Well,
more
I
curious
wanted
about
to
the
go
slave
back to the
thing.
bears thing. I really did.
Go ahead. What's the question?
So coming from the National Park Service article on understanding and managing bears, which I can link to everybody else. Bears are a vital part of our natural ecosystem of natural parks and other wild places. Bears are considered ecosystem engineers, meaning they have the ability to modify their environment. Through foraging habits, bears spread plant and berry seeds in their droppings and spread marine-derived nitrogen into the forest through salmon streams. Bears are an important link in food webs and help maintain a population of deer and other prey species through predation.
I'm sure we'll find plenty of hunters to replace them. So these are not real issues. That's fake. We don't need them.
That's where you mean, because if you're talking about like tundra areas, for example, in Alaska, northern Canada, and Russia, then you're not going to have a whole lot of people being able to manage the population, because there's not going to be a lot of people who have the skill
Look,
set,
all I'm saying,
the desire, or
No,
the
what I'm saying-
reason to go out and hunt bears.
I don't care for hunting. I'm just saying we need to get rid of the laws that are protecting the bears. I'm not saying we need to force people to go hunt bears or anything. I'm just saying stop protecting wild animals that are dangerous, like bears. We just don't need them. Get rid of them. It's like a pest.
Going to link this to the chat.
There's no
this
laws.
article.
There's no laws protecting mosquitoes. There shouldn't be laws protecting bears. I don't see mosquitoes and bears different. They're the same pests. No, the world is not going to miss mosquitoes the day after they're gone, and the same goes for bears.
Even mosquitoes are a vital part of the ecosystem, man.
Fine. Okay, whatever. If that's your definition of an ecosystem, then I can't help you with that. We don't need mosquitoes. We'll survive. The planet will survive without mosquitoes and without bears. Certainly without bears.
Wait, don't mosquitoes provide a great service? Like, I think I've read about this recently. Don't
I
they?
mean, like, I mean, Mr. Slave, you have not only do you have no concept of how ecosystems are, you have a negative concept about ecosystems work. You have no idea how an ecosystem functions, and you want to say this or that about, hey, we'll be fine. Like, nah.
Look, I'm taking an example. Look, I know that in California, the flag, California's flag, has a bear on it because Californians are proud that they disposed of the bear. There's no wild bear in California. They killed the last one. We could do the same in upstate New York, and we could do the same everywhere else. We don't need bears.
No, they didn't put the bear on their flag because they killed it. They put the flag on the bear because it was the Californian bear, and then it got killed off.
Anyway, that's what Joe Rogan explained. If he's wrong, then I'm sorry, I'm wrong too. I don't care. We don't need bears. If you think we need bears, we'll
Really,
figure it out.
your support is Joe Rogan. If Joe Rogan is wrong, then I'm sorry, I'm wrong.
Yeah,
Like
that's
I
what
just
evidence.
explained to you how it's wrong, right?
Fine, then I take it back. Then we still don't need bears. I don't think we need bears. We can start killing them off.
We're not
We can
going
start
anywhere.
killing. We can start killing them off slowly.
I'm
Like
not.
let's take a region in upstate New York, and let's start killing off bears there, and we'll see if that totally
That would be.
disrupts.
Do
Excuse
you
me.
know
There's
how
no
many
incentive
car
to do that.
accidents would increase from people running into deer
Now
if
we should
bears
get
didn't
we
exist in
we should
upstate New York?
we should get rid of the deer too, but let's start with the bears.
No
Let's
incentive
see,
for that.
let's see if we have, if if we're disrupting the ecosystem, and if we're dealing with it, we'll move to the next territory, slowly.
But
You
there's no
are just
incentive to do any of these things. There's zero incentive for
I'm
us to.
not saying there's an incentive. I'm saying let's remove the laws from the books protecting wild bears.
why should anybody do that if there's not an incentive?
No, and what an incentive. Right now, the laws protect bears. I cannot just go and shoot a bear. It's illegal. It's a wild. It's protected. I can't hunt a
Right,
bear.
well, why
Illi-
should we remove the law if there's no incentive to remove the law?
Oh, That's what I'm suggesting. I'm just saying my life would
You said there
improve.
was no incentive. You
No,
just said that.
no. Then I misunderstood the question. No, I don't like bears. I'm saying I want to get rid of bears.
Okay, that's
Do you
cool.
even leave your apartment enough to get accosted by bears?
What?
Just out of curiosity, do you actually like go out into the wilderness enough that bears are a concern for you?
I live in New York, so you don't need to go far to take a chance on your life with a bear. In
All
upstate
right,
New
a
York,
better question: have you encountered a bear at any capacity other than the zoo?
personally, no, but there's
And
I don't.
how long have you been in an area that may have bears?
Excuse me?
How long have you been in an area where you plausibly could be exposed to bears?
I don't want to disclose any information about myself, so it's not important. The point is,
Okay,
I don't want to take a chance on being mauled by a bear. There's plenty of
it's
stories.
really unlikely,
Excuse me?
and it's really unlikely. Also, you do have the responsibility, despite the law, the state of the law is irrelevant. So you have the responsibility to wear bear mace if it's really that much of a concern for you. So,
Right. So I'd rather just not have to worry about it altogether. It's not just me; it's my family. I
but you
mean,
don't have to. You're choosing to worry about it. It's such a non-issue. So
Most
it's enough of an issue for me to
most New
discuss it.
Yorkers never encounter a bear in their entire life. You
Fine,
know
look,
that, right?
again, I'm just saying, I don't like bears. I don't want to take a chance on being eaten by a bear. So I suggest we remove the laws protecting bears so that we can just dispose of this pest.
I've had encounters with bears, and all of them were non-consequential. So they were just sightings at a distance in the wild. They didn't bother me. I didn't bother them. No big deal. And that's
Okay,
how it usually
okay,
plays out.
I don't want to live.
That's the majority of human contact with bears.
I don't want to live through such an
Or if you
experience.
in certain mountain towns, they might get into your trash. Guess what they did? They invented a different kind of trash can. So there you go.
Fine, I don't want to live through such an encounter. Thank you.
You don't have to. It doesn't sound like you have anyway. So
I said I don't want to live through such an encounter. You did not contradict what I'm saying.
okay. But you're not going to compel any government agencies or large bodies of people. You're not going to enlist them or find a way to incentivize them to get rid of the bears. It's
Yeah,
just not going to work.
that has nothing to do with this discussion.
Okay, so it's really the discussion just boils down to your particular preference of just not wanting to possibly be ever
No,
attacked by a bear. Okay,
my
that's fine.
proposition is that it's preferable to get rid of the bears. It's a scientific proposition. Do you have uh
It's
uh
scientific.
it's preferable. It's preferable. The planet will be better off. Humanity will be better off without bears.
How do you know that?
That's my proposition. That's what I'm saying. But for example, if there's no bears, we can walk around the wilderness more freely, without worries, without
But
mace.
your proposition reaching to the other propositions of okay, now we got rid of the bears. there's about an endless array of pests we'll then need to get rid of.
Yeah,
So
we'll deal with
your
them one by one.
proposition
It's fine.
snowballs. Your proposition snowballs into basically getting rid of all life other than humans. That's what I'm actually interested in because that's
Yeah,
where I stepped in.
yeah, that's my ultimate proposition. I'm just I got cornered into attacking the bears first, but ultimately I want to get rid of all wildlife and all green environment. That's my proposition. Every like I'm anti-environmental. I'm an
Okay,
anti-environmentalist.
and why does nature offend you so?
Every time I see something green, I am sad because there could be a skyscraper there and people could be living there and we could have shopping centers and highways and bridges and construction,
Why
which
would you
is
be
my
sad of that? All you have to do is stay in an urban center, so that's always where your view is. Why does every so
my
are you
preference.
is your position like to see the entirety of the earth of surface area of land covered in concrete jungle? Is that your proposition?
Yes, it's preferable.
So you have like a kind of a Borg sort of fantasy then, basically.
A, a Borg?
Yeah, it's just everything is
No,
artificial.
no, it's not Borg. I wouldn't call it Borg. I would say that every futuristic, if you Google futuristic city, that's what I think the Earth should look like a futuristic city.
Well, there's a lot of architects that have will utilize greenery and all kind of stuff.
Yes, yes, then that's not
Not
a
all.
problem. I don't have a problem with that. As long as it's private, you want to have a tree in your apartment, that's fine. You want to build a building with trees, that's fine. It's your building, you do whatever the heck you want with it. I personally don't like green.
Yeah, but if nature dares sprout out a tree on its own recognizance, we got to get rid of that shit.
That that
That's crazy.
that option shouldn't exist. I'm against public property. Every property should be privatized. So every bit of land should be private. So if there's a tree, it belongs to someone. If there is a fire on the tree that kills someone, we should be able to hold someone liable for that. Like you grow a tree, you might as well throw a hand grenade. It's you want to be so reckless as to grow a tree, then you pay for it. You pay for the damage it
That's
causes.
that is a perfect equivalency. That's the best equivalency I've heard all year.
Yeah. All right, you want to discuss another topic, or are we? I've been here for like an hour and 12 minutes already. I think I'm gonna go. It's been a good discussion. Thank you, man. Thank you, uh, both of you. All right, bye bye. All right, so we're done. That was a very interesting discussion, I have to say. But okay, we're done. Let me end the broadcast. Have a great rest of your day, everyone. Bye bye.